Adrien Truffert has officially signed for AFC Bournemouth this lunchtime in a deal which could cost the Cherries around £10 million plus more in add-ons. It signals the imminent departure, of course, of Milos Kerkez, who's going to go to Liverpool for a rumoured £45 million. Now, Truffert was at Stade Rennais, or Rennes to me and you, and in many ways they're a club that are not dissimilar to us really, albeit with a bit of European pedigree. But when a footballer wants to get a taste of the Premier League, when players sign for Bournemouth, they can not only get, one, the minutes that they want, but two, also have the potential in a couple of seasons' time of moving on to the likes of Liverpool, Real Madrid, and in Zab's case, PSG. But look, whilst Cherries fans might feel a little bit empty right now if they were to have a cursory glance at the Dean Court departure lounge, as painful as the recent exits are, they are actually testament to the fact that Bournemouth is the destination club for any player that's looking to pursue a Premier League career. We're actually an incredible advert for progression. But boy, this signing is interesting, and really, we've not had a situation in quite a while where there's been an incoming player that is needed to fill the boots and live up to the expectations of his predecessor, apart from maybe when Eva had to take over the role of Dom Solanke and Tyler Adams for Jefferson. Okay, maybe not a good point. But who is Truffert? What's his style? What's his history? And what was he like at Rennes? We need to find out. So look, let's talk about Rennes. They finished 12th in Ligue 1 out of 18 teams, that is. That was last season. The previous season it was 10th, and before that 4th. They've had European football before. Now they're based, of course, in Brittany, and they've got a really good scouting network, and it's influenced the top tiers of European football for a number of decades and counting. And look, they've had some big names on their books before, including Eduardo Camavinga, Rafinha, Ousmane Dembele, Mikhail Silvestre, Sylvain Wiltord, also Petr Cech as well. Maybe they got a decent keeper now, because we need one. But similar to us, they're a team that have had their existence under threat in the past, and since then though, they've actually thrived. They've overcome adversity, and now they've got a successful businessman, Francois Pinault, who is one of the 30 richest men on the planet, and probably still is, I haven't checked. But as mentioned, they've got European football to their name. They've won the Coupe de France, that was 6 years ago, and they are a club who have actually been proven to be very astute and adept at identifying, acquiring and developing young players who've made long-lasting marks, not only in French football, but also across Europe too. Now, Truffert, he's said to be one of them. Now, he's Belgian-born, but he represented France. He's 23 years old. He's joined the Cherries on a 5-year deal. That's decent. He's been a mainstay in the Rennes senior side ever since making his debut in 2020, having previously spent 2 years in the B team, and he's also won both the under-17 and under-19 French championships with the club in his youth. Now, he's never played for anyone else, therefore his message to the Rennes supporters this morning, it was somewhat heartfelt. There are pages that we close with emotion, our heart clenched, but filled with gratitude. Today is one of them. After 10 years at Stade Rennais, I'm preparing to turn a huge page in my life. 10 years, a decade of passion, learning, work, joy, and sometimes tears. 10 years to grow, to build myself as a player, but above all, as a man. He went on to say, the Rennes training programme is a source of pride, an example. It instituted precious values to me, a taste for effort, respect, perseverance, and some discreet but tenacious ambition that makes me move forward every day. He sounds a good fit, doesn't he? So he leaves one team that play in red and black to another in the Premier League. Now on afcb.co.uk, he said, I'm really happy and proud to join AFC Bournemouth. It's a great opportunity for me to keep progressing and to be a part of an ambitious project. I felt the club's confidence in me from the first discussions, and I'm excited to get started. It's a dream of any player to play in the Premier League. It's one of the best and most competitive leagues in the world. I'm looking forward to testing myself at this level, facing top players every week and helping the team achieve great things. And hopefully we can achieve great things with him. It's great that he's at Bournemouth because it's not only us that we're interested. Aston Villa, I think Everton and West Ham were all mentioned as well, but it seemed that Truffert was excited about the project under Iraola. So look, at Bournemouth, whilst we've got Julio Soler that's going to be battling it out to be our regular left back for the season ahead, it really does feel like Adrien Truffert has got the edge. Why is this though? Well look, you can have a look at YouTube and you can be wooed by various compilations of players. I mean, we all did that with Juan Turbe, right? And look how that turned out. But the fact is there are some real similarities between him and Milos. Now, in a recent video on Kerkez, we spoke about the Hungarian's versatility. Now, that's what Iraola likes, right? Especially from his fullbacks. And that is no different here because Truffert loves to bomb forward with the ball. He can also play as a left wing back as well, but mostly you can find him at fullback. Like Kerkez, he busts a gut. And it also helps, by the way, that he's played for a manager in Rennes whose style is not dissimilar to Bournemouth's. His name is Habib Bey. He joined Rennes in January when the team were in the drop zone in Ligue 1, but with a 53% win record, he steered the team quite comfortably to 12th. His style is possibly a little bit more possession-based than Andoni's, but he emphasises building from the back with explosivity. He deploys a very high-intensity training regime, one which preps the players to be very dominant, controlling the tempo of the game, and above all, being a team that is effective in attack. He also prioritises building player confidence as well and maximising their individual qualities. So this bodes well. So what we're saying is, with Truffert and Rennes, you don't get heartburn. I bought this especially for that gag. Kofi, now you know where your money's being spent. So look, while Truffert's been at Rennes, of course, a lot longer than Habib's tenure, he's settled into the new style fairly seamlessly. He gets up the pitch, he's quick, and he whips in a cross. He's got above average passing stats, he's an excellent dribbler, he's got a great success ratio in that, and his chance creation data is promising as well, meaning that Evan Nilsson could really benefit massively from his inclusion. Now, he's slightly shorter than Milos by about 4 centimetres, and this does affect his aerial duel stats, which I think necessitates maybe the need for Bournemouth to sign a dominant, tall, left-sided centre-back after Dino went. But one thing I can say is that through watching him, he seems to be a little less chaotic at reading the game, and positionally, he does seem to be very disciplined, so maybe his mind makes up for it. Obviously, you can look at heat maps and analyse that a bit. He's definitely a box-to-box defender, and similarly, you'll notice that he's often utilised to take corners from both sides as well. So, from one side, obviously, an outswinger, the other side, an in-swinger. But how that'll play out under Sean Cooper's set-piece guidance, who knows? It remains to be seen, because we'll probably be doing something different every single game, as we always do, catching the others by surprise. Last season he played for Rennes, 30 games, scored 2 goals with 2 assists as well, helped keep 11 clean sheets as well, so that might help El Marino keep cooking those pizzas on a Saturday night. Up the other end though, he fits in perfectly in terms of Iraola's high press. Now we always know we like to dispossess teams in the final third, and his stats are actually nearly double what Milos Kerkez's are in that department. So there will be the usual requests, I'm sure, from Andoni for him to get up the pitch, win the ball back, and then do something with it, which is the key part. He'll be really adept at this. So that's another boon, but also he's got a decent right foot on him as well, so that's a massive plus. Of course, it's weird, the situation at Bournemouth at the moment, because there is a chance that 4 of the 5 backline, of course that includes Kepa, will not be at the club next season. So I expect there will be a period of bedding in for Adrien Truffert, as there was for Milos. But from what I've seen, and also with some informal conversations I've had with some esteemed Ligue 1 journalists, this player is well equipped to hit the ground running, better than any player that we've probably previously signed, and that's absolutely key for AFC Bournemouth, right, to minimise the constant transitions that we're going to be finding ourselves in season on season. It sounds like the club were ultra keen to get him on our books for that exact reason. Thiago Pinto, Bournemouth's president of football operations, he said, "We're delighted to bring such an excellent talent to the club so early on in the window. Adrien is a player we've admired for some time, and he brings significant experience to the squad despite being just 23 years old." So, in conclusion, Adrien Truffert's move to the Cherries, it looks like it is an excellent piece of business. It's going to be a rude awakening for him, let's be clear about that, and he will need to form these defensive relationships pretty bloody quickly, but his adaptability, I think, quells that concern somewhat. He'll no doubt form a bond with some of the other French-speaking players in the squad. That includes, of course, LE Junior Krupi and also Dango Ouattara as well. But what we've got is a footballer whose attacking output is probably better than Milos Kerkez's, and that's what we like to see, right? Maybe he hasn't got as high a ceiling as Milos, we don't know, but this could be a massive signing and a key signing for Bournemouth's goal to achieve more success in the upcoming season. This one is a goer.